What is up, everybody? This is Pucks from the Pine Tree Pod. I'm your host, Benjamin Kennedy. Thank you so much for checking this out today. I hope everybody's having a great Tuesday afternoon out there. I, for one, am a little sleepy today. A little bit sleepy. I don't know why. Might be something to do with 18 innings of baseball last night. Holy smokes, everybody. 18 innings in the World Series. My Toronto Blue Jays losing to the LA Dodgers last night. Yes, we're going to talk a little bit of hockey here coming up, but I just got to decompress from what we saw last night. Just painful. Painful. I mean, great baseball game if you don't have a rooting interest. If you're not a Dodger or Blue Jay fan, then just good theater, good entertainment, really good play on the field, some great defensive plays, really good bullpen pitching that both teams have kind of struggled with. But man, so many opportunities, so many missed opportunities for my Blue Jays to get that win last night. I really look at a couple of plays. The Schneider in the 10th inning trying to go from first to home. He was out by 3,000 miles. It wasn't close. That ends the inning. You got Vladdy there sitting on deck, ready to go. Vladdy up to bat with a runner on third. I kind of like my chances in that spot. It was, I think before that, I think with who was it? I think it was Lucas had the bases loaded and swung at ball four. Hit the ball, but of course ends the inning. And then, man, you go back to this all the way back to the second inning, that bizarre non-walk play with Varsho thinking he had ball four, starts to walk to first base. Bo Bichette already on first base, walking to second. And the umpire just had this weird cadence where he was just really slow with his strike calls. And the ball was clearly up. It was clearly a ball. Umpire calls a strike, but has this really long delay in calling it. So, Varsho's already out of the box and throwing his bat down, kind of looks behind him like, what is that? It's a ball? It's a strike? What is it? Well, of course, Bo Bichette's already on his way to second. So, of course, the Dodgers very smartly on their part, throw over to first, tag him out. Bichette's out. Our manager went up to argue it, but not much he could argue. I kind of got into it with one of my buddies who does happen to be an NCAA umpire, and he was all, it's on the runner. That's a runner's mistake. That's, he needs to be sure of XYZ that, he can go to second base on that play. Well, let's be honest, man. The first mistake was the umpire, man, for making the wrong call and for delaying it so long. It just completely ruined what could have been a very, very good inning for the Blue Jays. Is it why they lost? No, I can't necessarily say that, but I would have much preferred to see that inning play out as it should have. Just gut-wrenching, just a gut punch. Going to bed at whatever it was, 3:15 this morning, and just been dragging, all day. And yeah, we're going to do it again tonight, right? Hopefully not 18 innings, but hopefully my Jays can get a win tonight. So, of course, I have my office set up here. I've got this screen in front of me, and then I have another screen over here. So last night I had the Bruins over here. I had the baseball game on over here. And just, what was that, Bruins? What was that? 7-2 loss up in Ottawa. Just from the little bit I was watching in between, pitches, they just look so uninterested. They just got their butts handed to them. I would say an embarrassment. Probably the worst loss of the year. Team in your division that you're chasing. Yeah, I know it's early, but that's 2 points you really could have used, and you were not in that game at all. Listen, right now for the Bruins, they've lost to both Florida and Ottawa, both without the Tkachuk boys being on the ice, and he still couldn't beat either one of those teams. This team has a long, long ways to go. I'm not holding my breath really much at all for this season. Of course, I had them sixth in my official predictions, but man, it's rough. And Marco Sturm has just a lot of work in front of him to get this team where they need to be. They are playing, of course, again tonight. They got the Islanders back at the Garden. I think the puck drops at 7:15, and Hampus Lindholm has been activated from the IR, so some good news there for the Boston Bruins. They absolutely need him on defense. They cannot afford to be without him and McAvoy. They need that whole group going for them to have a chance at all in any of these games. Of course, a lot of rumors right now, some different trade rumors around Pavel Zacha. Is he going to be heading out of town? He's had a good start to the season. I like Pavel, but I mean, man, this team's not going any place. I I really don't blame the Bruins if they start to trade off some of these assets. But listen, we heard all summer that Sweeney thought he had a team that was built for the playoffs, built to make a playoff push and playoff run this year. I don't know, man. I don't see it. I don't see it. I didn't see it this summer. I don't see it now. We're fixing to have a very, very long winter if this is the Boston Bruins we're going to get. But hey, let's talk about something positive, right? Let's talk about something good for a change. We've got our Maine Mariners to talk about, guys. We had a great weekend against Wheeling up here at the Cross Insurance Arena in Portland, Maine, getting a 3 out of a possible 4 points for our boys. So we'll go back to Saturday. Maine winning that game 7-3. Shots on goal on this one, 35-27 for Maine. That's 14, 10, and 11 for Maine, 8, 12, and 7 for Wheeling. Wheeling was 2 for 3 on the power play. Maine 1 for 3. For your Maine Mariners, your goal scorers, you have Sean Element in the first period. Thompson getting his second. Cronin getting on the board. And then it's 1, 2, 3 for Hudson, getting the hat trick. Awesome to see that. Perot adding one. And then actually there at the end, Renwick for Wheeling was former UMaine Black Bear getting his first of the season. Cavallin getting the win in this one, 24 saves on 27 shots. So good to see that. Definitely a spirited affair, 2-2 after one period. And then, of course, Maine getting the 2 in the second and then outscoring Wheeling 3-1 in the third. So awesome win there. Turn to the Sunday afternoon game. This one got a little punchy, I would say. Maine losing this one in overtime, 5-4. Shots on goal, 31-28 for Wheeling. That's 11, 7, and 9, plus the 4 in overtime for Wheeling. 6, 10, 9, and 3 for Maine. Wheeling 1 for 5 on the power play in this one. Maine 1 for 3. Your Maine goal scorers here, Brooklyn Kalmakoff with goal number 2. Andreev getting his second goal. Again, UMaine's former Renwick there for Wheeling getting his second of the season. Kalmakoff in the third period getting his third. Cheveldayoff to tie the game there with his first of the season. And, of course, Maine going on to lose this one at the 6:01 mark in overtime. Arvanitis getting his debut on the season, 28 saves on 31 shots. So I know he's going to want to look to improve that as we move forward. Big news, though, coming out of Sunday, or the big play was the Sean Element cross-check. Pretty brutal hit, pretty bad hit. Gets the game misconduct, gets, of course, the early showers for him. No suspension announced. I know I saw a lot of chatter on social media around this, but looking at the ECHL website and talking to some guys internally, looks like he's going to avoid a suspension on this one. Unless some news breaks while I'm recording, I think they would have announced it by now here Tuesday afternoon. So, lucky break for the team, lucky break for Element. Maybe they think, hey, he got thrown out of the game in the first period. Maybe that kind of counts as his kind of suspension. But he's a physical player. He's going to play a physical style. But, for him, I think he's going to have to play on that edge, find that edge of, playing up to the edge without going over it, right? We talk about that a lot with, these physical type players, but he's an important guy for the Mariners. He brings that edge, he brings that physicality, and that's something the team absolutely needs. The team does sign Caden Biagas, I think is how you pronounce it. Did play on Sunday. Let's see if I can find his stats here real quick. No shots, but of course was in the lineup for his first game of the season. 4-year player from Union College. Last season played for Adirondack and into 12 games, had 1 goal, 2 assists for 3 points. So we'll see how he factors into the group there for the Maine Mariners. Of course, no Willem DeVoe this weekend. The official word from the team is upper body. No timetable. It's looking like it could be an extended time away for DeVoe. So tough loss for the team. He's the captain. He's just a great energy guy, great leader. So hopefully he can heal up soon and be back before we know it. But yeah, after 2 weekends, the team is 2-1-1, 5 points sitting in second place. So I'd say a really good start, a better start than what we normally have at this time over the last kind of 3 and 4 seasons. Special teams so far, Maine is at, for the power play, 17.6%. That's 3 out of 17. On the PK, they've been quite good, 80% there, 12 out of 15 opportunities stopped there for their PK. And I do think their PK will continue to be a strength. They're pretty aggressive on that. They attack, their sticks are active typically. So, really, really good to see that there. Yeah, 3-point weekend. We'll see how we can follow it up. We got 3 games coming up this weekend for the Mariners. Friday night, Halloween night, the team travels up to Adirondack to take them on. 7 p.m. start there. Of course, Adirondack 2-1 on the season, 4 points. Key players for them: Dylan Wentz, 2 goals, 4 assists for 6 points, and Brandon McManus, 3 goals, no assists for 3 points for him. So a player to be watching for. Then the teams both come back here on Saturday night, back at the Cross Insurance Arena, 6 p.m. puck drop there. And then Sunday afternoon, Reading comes back into town. Of course, Reading was here a couple of weeks ago. That's a 3 p.m. matinee. I think that's the military night for the team. Of course, Reading's sitting in first place now, 3-0-1 with 7 points. And Reading shutting out the Mariners there a couple of weeks back. So Maine will be looking for some payback. Some players to note here for Reading: Jordan Frasca, 3 goals, 3 assists for 6 points. Brandon Sajin, 2 goals, 4 assists for 6 points. And Massimo Rizzo, 1 goal, 5 assists for 6 points. So 3 players there with 6 points early in the season. So, yeah, overall, I'd say a really positive start for the Mariners. I think, after that Reading loss there, that shutout, they really responded well. Got back to taking shots and scoring goals and being physical. And I think this is going to be a very, very exciting team as we go through the season. Guys, I am going to keep this one rather short today because I am tired, man, and I wouldn't mind getting a little cat nap before the Blue Jays come back on tonight. But I do have a very exciting announcement. Next week, I've got a guest coming on. Pat Kelleher, Executive Director of USA Hockey, will be joining the show. Cannot wait to talk to Pat. We got all sorts of topics we're going to discuss, from, the Olympics coming up to, 4 nations from last season, and all sorts of other things around the world of USA Hockey. So don't miss that one. Can't wait for it. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching and listening today. If you're already subscribing to my channel, thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, checking this out for the first time, thanks so much for checking it out. Thanks for giving me an opportunity, giving me a chance. If you do like what you're hearing here, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below. That's going to help you keep up to date on all the things coming up here on the channel. And until next time, everybody, be kind, show love, and God bless.